All right, here we are at 12186 Hickory Knoll, and I just pulled up, so I'm in the driveway now. This is probably enough space for two small cars to park side by side here. The driveway isn't super wide, but it's wide. I have a very large vehicle. We have 4 kids, so don't mind me. You're on kind of a pipe stem here, so that's the street you'll turn off and you would drive down here. So you would see your neighbors right there a lot. This is a beautiful neighborhood. I took up drive up video so you'll be able to see it. Here's the front yard. So, and like kind of your neighbor's backyard. I'm not sure exactly where the property line would be, but you could look that up. You have this beautiful tree here. The house looks pretty good from the outside. I just pulled up. The roof has definitely some, you have some trees that shed onto the roof that you'd want to, have a plan for maintenance for. But let's walk around the property real quick and see what we see. Let's see. It's a brick house. It's a nice color of brown. It's not super red. Black shutters. Looks very pretty. Some landscaping here. There's just a bit of a side yard. Here's the back of the house. Lovely deck area. We're in some full sun, so you're going to see some harsh shadows. But I'll try and point out everything I can see. And I do make a lot of comments on condition. So I think this is my first video for you. So I just want you to know that I don't mean it as a criticism or that you shouldn't buy the house or anything like that. Just I know that if you can't see it, I want to tell you exactly what condition it's in so that there would be no rude surprises when you showed up. So just again, it won't be criticism, just condition. Deck looks pretty good. There's a lot of mulch down here. You have some propane tanks here under the deck here. Some of these little, some of those railing bars are a little bit wonky. That one right there. Not a huge deal, just something to, keep in mind. And then here, so here's the back deck area. Here's the air condenser. It does look on the older side. So, it doesn't sound any louder than most of them do. I mean, it sounds kind of loud right now and I'm right next to it, but they're all kind of loud. These are some older windows here. And then condenser. So then we'll just quick walk around the property here. It's an interesting design choice. So these look like storm windows that are over top the original wood windows. So, some of these things are going to be for the home inspector and not for me. I'm just going to kind of point out what I can see. The paint's cracking. It's falling off here. Just, these are old windows. So, and wood windows last a long time. They can last longer than vinyl windows if they're taken care of. But just one thing to know. So here we go. Gutters look like they're probably full. Maybe not super well maintained. Again, not a criticism, just so here's the front door. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock and we'll head in. All right, I have just entered the house. I am standing in the threshold here. So we can go up or down. Let's go up first. We're going to go up these stairs. These are probably the original hardwood stairs. They are finished in a nice medium brown. It's not too red. There's no orange. You don't see a lot of yellow. It's a very nice tone of brown. It's not a trendy. It's a kind of a classic look, which is very nice. The walls are kind of that same cream / beige that everyone's using right now, but it looks really good. White trim. The light's going to change a little bit in every room, but I can tell from here that the walls in this main space are all painted one color. So just so you know, you have this beautiful window here, brings in a lot of light. This main living area here, right at the top of the stairs. Yeah, so that couch seats 3, to give you an eye for furniture. If you wanted to block the window, you could put a little bit larger. This is not a huge living room. It would be hard to place a TV here. That's probably what the lower one is for. But it is very nice. It's very open. It's been painted recently. It feels very nice. So here's our dining space here. You can see they have a table for 4. And I think that you could squeeze 2 more chairs here if you wanted to seat a few more people at your table. The table itself really couldn't get a whole lot larger without running into a path of travel issue, either by the door or kind of through here, or through here. This is about the largest size table this would accommodate, I think, unless you had guests over, for temporarily. So here's our kitchen, lovely kitchen. Let me see if I can turn some lights on so we can see it better. Sorry, everyone puts the lights in different places. Here we go. These are down here, which is kind of neat. So this is a granite countertop. These are beautiful cabinets. They have, oh no, they don't have the soft close. They look like they would, but they don't. You do have some pull-out shelves down here, and apparently, you know, people still live here, so I'll be more careful. These have the, so yeah, pull-out shelf down there kind of slides out, you know, so you can reach those back things. Yep, there's a vent. Let's see. So same floor throughout. Nice looking fridge. This is like the cutest little pantry I've ever seen. Very nice. Modest in size, but it does go back pretty deep. So, you know, you have cabinets up here. They do go to the ceiling, which is nice. You have some glass cabinets up there, and I do see a light in one of those. So that would be nice. Lazy Susan probably. Oh, nope, just the shelf. But, you know, great place for appliances. This is an electric range and microwave there, and it is hung at about the proper height here, which is nice, so it's not too low. Let me get the sink. Overlooks the beautiful wooded backyard, and so here we go. So this right here, excuse me, this doesn't look like a full 12-inch overhang, so it would be a little tight to have, you know, stools here, especially with the table here. If you push the table back, you'd have a little bit more space. This is, you know, this is a great standing up bar. Yeah, so I would say you could fit 3 stools there, maybe, based on the length, without the chair, you know, without the chair here, or just for 3 or 4 adults to stand here would be great. So here, we'll take another look at the kitchen, and I only say those things to just kind of give you an idea for how big this space is, because I know sometimes it can either look bigger or smaller in the video, so just want to be upfront about that. Hallway bathroom here. Very nice. So it is an insert, but it's clean, and it's a nice neutral kind of almond color. And it has a low step right here, which would nice for bathing children or, you know, elderly people to step over. Nice brown tile. That's kind of a classic tile. Vanity here. Light fixture. So there is an exhaust fan. And yeah, looks pretty straightforward hallway bathroom here. Let's move along. We'll go down this way. Next, we have a little guest or child's bedroom in here. So this is a pretty good size, you know, for Northern Virginia. So cute little closet. This, I would say, could easily accommodate a twin bed, a dresser, and a desk. So if you wanted to upsize the bed, then one of those other things might have to go. But you could put a bed there pretty nicely, and then have your desk and dresser kind of over there. So it's a good size room. Oh, here is the primary, which walks out to the deck, which is very nice. That is a queen size bed there. So you can kind of get a feel, you know, for what that might look like. And I think with people living here, I won't rifle through the closet, but I will open it. Oh, it's empty. Okay. So it is a pretty good sized closet. It extends a little bit past where the doors are. So that's, you know, for that stuff that you don't need that often, you can kind of tuck it back in those corners. So it doesn't look that big from up here, but it does extend back there into that area, which is nice. So they have this table here, which is cute. You could have a dresser there or anything. And then here is the primary bathroom, which is very nice. This is one of those cool, like mother of pearl kind of old school countertops, but it looks really nice. Could use a little bit better of a cleaning, but I think it would clean up pretty well. Cabinet, let's see, another shower insert here. This one isn't quite as like clean and sparkly as the first one. You know, it has some damage that's been repaired. So, you know, to your comfort, if you wanted to replace that later on, you probably could, but I'm sure it works fine. And these cute little shutters on your window here. And actually, that's a really big window. So that's very nice. Gives the bathroom a lot of natural light. Ceramic tile floor in here. Old school kind of rounded toilet, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. So let's see. I took my shoes off, so I'm not going to walk out there, but you can see that, you know, there's 2 chairs out there. And then this part of the deck walks down there, and you have a screen door here, which is nice to open it. Not today, because, you know, it's 95 degrees outside, but if it weren't, you could open the door. So we have hallway linen closet here. good size. You have a hanging bar. You could add some shelves in there if you didn't want to hang things, but otherwise it's kind of an overflow closet, which is nice. And then this room here is a little bit larger than the first one we looked at. It is smaller than the primary, but it's larger than that first bedroom. This is probably a queen size bed. I don't think it's a full. Yes, this is a queen size bed in here. So you'd have room for 2 nightstands if you wanted to. So cute little closet. You got the shelves up there, and it does go all the way up to the ceiling. So if you had some unused things, you could place them up there. All right, so let's head downstairs. So we're going to come back down this hallway. So these were the 2 kind of guest bedrooms. This is the primary here. And then the hallway bathroom is right here. So when your guests came over, they would use this bathroom here. All right, and so let's head downstairs. And so what I didn't see was a coat closet. Sometimes that's tricky with a split foyer. There's probably one here, but let's see. Oh, I was wrong. It's here. Okay. So once you come down here, this could be kind of a coat closet. They're using it as overflow storage, broom, step stool, things like that. So it's much cooler down here, which would be lovely on a hot summer day like today. And you have this area down here. This is either an engineered wood or some of that wood that's finished before you lay it in place. That is a very large, I don't know, caterpillar or worm of some sort. They have some plants down here. I wouldn't worry about that, but just wanted to check it out. You have your windows here. This is a cute little sitting area, and this is like a 2-space kind of room here. You'd have a lot of space for 2 zones if you wanted to. So with the fireplaces, it does make TV placement tricky, but I'm sure you could figure it out. This was probably formerly a utility sink. I don't know. I've never seen that in a living space, but my guess was there was maybe like a kitchenette there or something like that you could add back if you were going to have, people staying with you for a while. So, oh, this is exciting. Okay, we're going to walk up the stairs, and then we could go either out, which we won't do right now because I don't have my shoes on. This is that door we saw from the back, or we can go to the right, which is the garage. So, okay, so that's how you'd enter the house from the garage. So, yeah, 2-car garage. Obviously, it would be emptied, if you bought it. So that looks like a really wide door. I don't know if it's just been a while since I've had a 2-car garage or if it's a little bit wider. But that's nice. Like, if anything, that's great. So it feels very wide in here, very spacious. You have this area here for additional storage. And, these were probably like original kitchen cabinets that they put up there. So I'm going to close this and we'll head back. So if you were to come in through the garage, you would enter this way. So that's a little different, but these houses, they're just a little quirky. There's our slider that goes out to the lower level of the deck, which is very nice. Okay, so continuing on, this was that storage closet. We're going to come in through here, downstairs bathroom. Oh, super cute. Okay, so this one has a nice big cabinet here, and a bathroom tile. It could be original based on the style and the color, but it looks really nice. The grout is clean. White grout is hard, so it does darken in some areas, but it looks pretty clean. It looks like it's been well maintained. This bathroom, probably didn't get a ton of use. They have some beadboard here, which is really cute. It's got a timer for the fan, which is nice. If you have a kid using it, they never turn it off. So that's nice. And then we'll keep going through here. Okay, so now we're switching to carpet. And there is an overhead light here, which is nice. Sometimes you don't have that on a lower level. There's a lot of coax cable going on here. That is very much like an old house thing. A lot of houses we see have the coax cable because, you used to have it everywhere. So I would say this carpet is in pretty good shape. It could definitely use a vacuum. But I don't see any big stains on it. A lot of these are just, we're from walking on it. I would say it's not a premium carpet for sure, but it's in good shape. I don't think you'd have to change it. It looks fine. I don't smell any signs of an animal or anything gross. So, basic closet in here. And then, there's a little pull thing is for the coax cable. I think they use that to find the line or the hole in the ceiling. So yeah, kind of weird, you know. We see that a lot. It's nothing, it's just kind of what people used to do like 20 years ago. Um, so okay, so then here's bedroom number 4, and then bedroom number 5 would be this one right here. This is much larger than that first one. Same kind of basic closet there. Same carpet. I would say the carpet's in the same condition. It's in good condition. So nothing to worry about there. It does need a vacuum for sure. And, you know, you can tell that when they had the flooring replaced here, they had ripped off the quarter round. And then, so there's some things like that, that with a little sweat equity, you know, you could repaint that trim and it would shine up really nicely, or just even add a quarter round to it. So this is, you know, I'm not sure what, that's a little hole. That's a little weird. You could change that. No big deal. So let's see what that room is. All right. Oh, the utility room. Okay. So those are those 2 old windows that we definitely saw from the outside. And they have some really old cabinets over there, which is kind of cool. Kind of like this, you know, I'm not going to walk on that because I don't have my shoes on. And then this, you know, here's the stud wall. Venting. This looks like a pretty standard utility room. That's probably another exterior door. I'm not sure if this is a fire door. Yeah, it feels like a solid corridor. Okay. Panel, washer, dryer, furnace is definitely on the older side. You know, I can't speak to its condition, of course. That's for the home inspector, but it is definitely older, which would make sense because the condenser was older. The water heater looks a lot newer. So, you know, just one thing, there's some kind of sump pump in here. Yeah, so this is a nice space in here. You could do a lot with this space, depending on what you needed. It could be finished to make another room. I mean, this could be a bedroom, you know, if you finished it. So, because it has an egress. But yeah, cool space back here. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of walk our way out here. So we'll go back over here and then up the stairs. And then these have kind of like a little sticky thing on it to keep, you know, pets or children from falling down the stairs. I'm sure that could be removed if you wanted to, but these wood floors can get really slippery. And then we're back in the entryway.